Looking at letter A up here, we've got a power to a power, but we also have a 6 in front, so that 3 has to go on the 6 as well. So 6 to the third power times m, and we are going to multiply those together, so that'd be to the 6th power. And then we have to simplify 6 to the third power, so 6 times 6 times 6 gives me 216 m to the 6th power. Letter B, I've got a negative 3 out here. That is going to go to both of those on the inside, so this will become k to the third power and j to the negative 12th power. But we can't have negative exponents, so we're going to move that down below. So your final answer would be k to the third power divided by j to the positive 12th power. Letter C. We have a power raised to a power, so you'll multiply. And then we have q to the 11. Now we're going to take these two exponents, we're going to add them together to give us q to the 8th power. Negative 3 plus 11 is 8. And that is your final answer. Letter D, we've got a power raised to a power, which will be 0. 0 times 3 is 0. This would be 1. So x to the 5th power is your final answer. Letter E, take one thing at a time here. Got 4 divided by 10. If I simplify that on my calculator, you will get 2 on top and 5 on bottom. Then we can imagine there being a 1 here on that m. So when I divide these two together, I'm subtracting my exponents to get m to the 6th power. And then lastly, my n's. You can think about this a few different ways. We can either take negative 2 minus 10 to give us n to the negative 12th power, or since there's a negative 2, we can bring it down below to make it n squared, and then add these two things together to get n to the 12th on the bottom. So either way, you're going to end up with n to the 12th power on the bottom. Letter F. Got to get rid of our negatives here. So this has a negative exponent, so it's going to go down below. P to the negative 2nd has a negative exponent, so it's going to go down below. And then p to the negative 3rd has a negative exponent, so it's going to go to the top. So let's rewrite this here. P to the 3rd in the numerator, 6 squared p to the 2nd. But then I have 3 p's on top, 2 p's on bottom, so we're going to subtract that to give me 1 p, and then divide that by 36 for your final answer. Letter G. This 2 on the outside is going to both the 1/2 and to my y. Sorry, the 1/4 and my y. So this will become 1 squared over 4 squared and times y squared, which if I simplify this will give me 1y squared divided by 16, which is the same thing as y squared over 16. Either answer is fine. And then lastly, number 8. Okay, this exponent has to go to all 3 things on the inside. So the 4, the x, and the y. So this becomes 4 to the 3rd power, x to the 3rd power, y to the 6th power. Then I've got this 5 that's going to go to 2 things on the inside. So times x to the 5th power and y to the 10th power. So now I just have to simplify this here. 4 to the 3rd power would be 64. And then if I'm looking at my x's, I have x to the 3rd, x to the 5th. When I add those together, I have x to the 8th. And then my y's are going to give me y to the 16th power. So your final answer is going to be letter C.